I'm running for re-election for the next 4 years, and I'd like to address the issue of term limits because some of you may not find it funny. Fact is that it isn't a question of extending term limits. It's what does term limits do? What is the effect of term limits? And after reviewing that for 22 hours of a hearing, term limits has an effect on communities that are really kind of devastating. The fact is that you cut in half whoever you represent into what they are able to do in a period of time. I've heard about this one is going to put a school and that one's going to put a school. It doesn't happen like that. It happens that you have budgets and you plan a 10-year cycle and a 5-year cycle. That's just how it's done. You don't suddenly have something erupt from the ground. That means planning, and above all, I heard everybody here saying how they're going to do this and that. There are 50 council members, ladies and gentlemen. You need to work with all 50. If you don't get anything. I was elected budget negotiator by my colleagues. I'm still in that position because they've kept me there. I'm an important member of the negotiating committee, and it is around that you won't get a school, you won't get money for a CBO, you won't get any of that if you don't know how to get along with your colleagues. You disagree, but it's teamwork. That is what is important. How are you a statesman in the city council? How do you get along in your communities? And how do you manage to keep that common thread that's throughout all of the district, which is, yes, we're different colors, we're different religions, and we speak different languages. The fact is, though, we are one. It is a challenge to maintain that because when you superimpose and you have the different languages, communication is very key. 51 members in the city council get out of bed differently. They all don't feel the same, but when you get around that table and you're in that council, you need to get the job done. I have been able to do that. Someone may say, what is experience? Does it matter? Yes, it does. It does because when you're working with money, and we're all talking about how do you get money into the district, you kind of have to understand that you get that money by certainly negotiating very carefully. There's seniority in the council, and what happens is that you deliver for this district in the schools, in health care, you deliver it in jobs, job training, and how do you have that level field for each and every one that represents the 25th district. I have done that. There's more to do, and you can only do that when you know how to work with all of your colleagues, how you work with the administration. 28 vetoes on the mayo's vetoes. We overrode that. That is independence and get the job done. So I ask your support because I think there's more to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody so much for this evening. Has been very informative, and I want to just say that although I have an awful lot of respect for the council members' long tenure as a council member and as somebody who's been involved in the community, I respectfully disagree. I really believe that what we need now is a change. It's time for a change. And I believe that we need to get results rather than just experience. I think experience is one thing, results is another thing. And I want to be that person, that agent for change. I have a long record of history and involvement in this community. I have advocated for change. I have a plan. I can tell you, go to my website, www.danieldrum.com, and there you will see all my issues. You will see what I want to do with this community. I have a plan on how to fix the education, on how to fix our schools. Don't forget, I've been a teacher for 25 years in the New York City Public School. I have a change about how to affect our quality of life issues here and how to improve this community. I love this community. I have a dream that this community can be a better place for all of us to live in. And I have a dream, and I have been fighting for many, many, many years for civil rights for everybody in this community. And I've been out there, I laid my life and my livelihood on the line fighting for people's rights, and I will continue to do that in New York City Council. If you want an advocate in the New York City Council, then vote for me. I'm the guy. I would really like to ask for your support. Thank you, everybody.
Not all of you know me, but my name is Stanley Kalathara. I'm running for three simple reasons. One, improve the quality of life in 25th district. Important in that quality of life is bring and reopen St. John's Hospital. It's a plan. Number 2, I wanted to improve the business atmosphere throughout 25th district, starting from Roosevelt Avenue, from 69th Street to 114th Street. I'm going to rezone and get a business improvement district. There you will have more plants, not prostitutes. More trees, not thugs in the street. And more police and more lights. And more beautiful. I wanted to bring that beauty from Jackson Heights Historical District to East Amherst, Rego Park. Number 3, education. I'm not going to find an excuse. I will find a place where I can put a high school for the District 25 in my first term. These are my 3 important goals in my first term. I need your support. Helen Sears said, experience is important. 7.5 years ago, what was her experience in government? Joan Sabini would have been the city council member if the term limit was not here. And according to her, term limit is not a big issue. Why do we need to go to election? Why don't she continue, Bloomberg continue? Why we all those people sitting here and doing all those nonsense? We don't need election. They're experienced people there. I think this is the most ridiculous argument I ever heard. I promise, even if another Bloomberg coming to my term, I am going to get off after 8 years as a city council member. Not even 1 day more. Thank you.
Stanley, thank you for that comic relief in this evening. Thank you very much. What you look for when you are voting for somebody, you look to see what kind of jobs they've held in their past. Did they do a good job? Because character matters, especially for a local representation. You look to see if they have any independence. You look to see if they have character. You look to see if they are able to make independent choices and independent decisions. That's where I'm a little bit different from each one of these people. I'll be independent. I'll be making the choices and the decisions based on the facts and based on the people that are here, not based on the political hierarchy that all of them will listen to. I agree with Colin Powell when he was talking about Barack Obama. And he had said that we need somebody that's going to reach across the lines. And that's exactly what I believe. We need somebody that's going to be able to reach across the ethnic lines and the racial lines and the generational lines to really talk about the issues that the working families in these areas aspire to. And that's exactly what I'm going to do when I'm elected to the City Council with your help. Please vote for me. Thank you very much.